I know our little sign. We gotta. Hey, it worked. Sometimes,
What
when
happened?
in doubt, you just unplug a microphone and you plug it back in, and everything seems to work
Okay.
better. All right.
All right. I
Well,
guess we are going to again every time we start off good and
oh,
uh
thanks, Breezy238.
I thought you all were abducted by aliens. Don't blow my cover, Breezy 238.
Oh man.
I wear that shirt with where are we at? My shirt with my alien on
Oh yeah.
it.
Ooh, right there.
Over there behind Corey.
Oh man. So, what do we want to start roll that back and just tell them
We'll jog it
we'll get
back
we'll get
ever so slightly. Uh, as you know, if you've been watching our show, 85% of our show is technical difficulties. So just, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that's what we like to say here. So,
Hi, Terry. Hi, Sherry and
hello,
Breezy238.
welcome, welcome.
We are going to restart the show.
We had a little uh mishap with our
Our
with our
sound
technology here.
department kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Not to point any fingers. Jeff the
Yeah,
cat,
it happens. It happens. Jeffrey, where are you? He's
Crab Kitty.
yeah, Crab Kitty. If you saw our show with his Halloween costume, he was
Yeah,
the crab.
he's still salty about it, so he
He
unplugged
is.
the mic.
It's true. It's true. So, um, let's start again by saying hello, and I'm Corey,
And I'm Lavander.
and we are
Corvander's
Corvander's Grill,
Grill.
and here on office hours
The show.
every Monday, we
7
open ish.
ish.
We open our virtual office door. We bring you guys in here with us, where we can,
Into the computer.
yeah, right in there,
In there.
and then we peek inside the computer and we find you in there. And so we're gonna bring a special guest on in just a few more moments, but we wanted to share this past weekend. We
Yes.
were on an amazing retreat.
Absolutely. It was awesome. Got to do some meditation, really be in an awesome experience and some spiritual growth. So,
Mm-hmm.
really, really great weekend. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun, lots of breakthroughs, awarenesses, learnings. So grateful for that space.
Yes, absolutely. Had a rainy Friday,
Yeah,
a rainy and cold Friday.
got to play in the rain. It's
Was-
been a while since I got to do that.
Yeah,
Just
it was good. I enjoyed the
barefoot
rain.
dancing in the rain. So
There you go.
that was a lot of fun. Whew. So, I think that's really
Saturday we had water ceremony.
we did. We had a break from our little retreat to make sure we got to go on
Yeah.
water ceremony.
We even had a special guest visitor for water ceremony from Bolivia who
It's true.
shared their culture with us and what they're building in Bolivia, a nice
Mhm.
cultural center that's going to do some awesome work giving rights to water. Uh, and it's absolutely amazing to
Mhm.
hear.
So big shout out to Waida, who is visiting from Bolivia and is still here and is offering all sorts of healing, home clearings, uh, personal like healings, anything that in the realm of clearing energy or healing.
Yeah,
He's amazing. So
go check them out.
yeah,
Uh,
let us reach out if you are interested in booking a session with him while he's here.
Yep. And Sunday, we got to continue our spiritual journey and some nice sunshine and outdoors and connecting to
Mhm.
nature. Got to really disconnect. So if you send me a bunch of messages while I was gone this weekend, that's why I did not return them. I was disconnecting.
Sherry says, "Thanks for activating that H2O."
Yes. You just
Yes.
wait, Sherry. The water's gonna be really activated now.
We're gonna charge it up, plug it into. We found its USB port for you, and it is charged and ready to go. Well, I think
Alright.
it's time. Why don't we get ready to bring on our special guest here?
So we have a very special guest in the
Mm-hmm.
house tonight, hailing all the way from Westchester, New York. I our great friend Taji. She's absolutely amazing. She's very knowledgeable in health and wellness, and the detox program that I had mentioned a few weeks back that I said I was participating in. Uh, this was her detox plan that or her detox program that she facilitated, and it was very impactful. We'll talk more about that in the stream, but let's go ahead and bring out Taji.
All right. Let's and hopefully not lose our microphone again.
Okay, we'll check sound again.
We're gonna test 1 2 1 2. Looks like we're good on sound, and I'm going to bring in the great. Nope, nope, not yet.
Is that it?
There she is.
That's
Welcome,
it.
Taji. Oh, she's on mute. Let's there we go.
Oh,
Okay.
be careful.
There's perfect.
Hi.
Welcome,
Hello.
Taji.
Hi, Taji. You from Westchester?
I'm from Westchester. I
You
was
from
cracking up. I'm like, oh gosh.
It is rigorous out there.
I know.
Thank you so much
I
for
was
joining
live
us
with
today.
that for the rest of my life.
Yep.
That's so
It's always a great conversation starter.
Yeah.
Bring-
I'm like, I'm from Westchester. Westchester.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's a viral video you can go look up and
Yeah,
on YouTube from a while back.
it's definitely a must see. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Taji, before we talk about all the fun things, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you're about, or what you do, anything you want to share.
Okay, well, I'm Taji Jones, and I'm so thankful to be on the show with you guys today. I love you dearly.
Oh, we love you.
I-
We're glad you're here.
I'm a yoga instructor. I'm currently working on my nutrition, and I've done trainings in naturopathy and emotional blockage release, massage. I've been doing a lot of training in fitness. I'm a personal trainer, certified, and I've been working on just getting good with my health and moving into a space of I'm trying to get as much people to be on the same exact movement, prioritizing themselves, prioritizing their self-healing. So that's my main goal right now.
That is awesome. Thank you. I know we've had a lot of like awesome conversations, especially around like you said, like natural, organic, like homeopathic, like wellness. So I wanted to like first if you can like break that down for people, like what does it mean like to be in like homeopathic like medicine and that type of work
Or naturopathy,
or
yeah, like the
naturopathy.
different aspects. Like people hear those terms a lot, but I don't know how much they understand what does that mean.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it's crazy. Even for me, when I first heard homeopathic versus naturopathy, I'm like, what's the difference? Are we just trying So naturopathy is more of cleaning the body and restarting. The best way to explain it is a restart. You want to remove any parasites, any bad foods that you've been eating, cleaning the gut, and then also removing blockages. So a big thing is that every time you have an emotion, and this is a theory that I did my training in India, so we also did yoga philosophy. So yogis believe that you carry every single emotion. I believe this too. So you can actually work out the physical aspect that's left in the body. So when you're doing naturopathy, it's really restoring that child before the trauma, before anything that's occurred that you've now held on to, along with cleaning out the body. Homeopathic, as far as I don't follow as much as I stick with naturopathy, but it is really just a natural way of healing using natural medicines, staying away from allopathy, which is allopathy is like Western medicine, which is like, you know, when you take an Advil for a headache type of thing, to kind of stay away from that and to find natural remedies for health. Naturopathy and homeopathy align with finding cures instead of temporary fix. So unfortunately, we are kind of conditioned to think like, hey, I have high blood pressure, so let me take a high blood pressure medicine for the next 40 years. That means like it's never been cured. I'm just like, you know, slightly subduing it into my body. Naturopathy and homeopathy believe in finding an actual cure. So either resetting the body completely or finding a natural herb or medicine to rid your body of high blood pressure. So that's a good way to kind of differentiate it.
I think that's a great description. That makes a lot of sense. And I love what you said also about the carrying emotional I forget how you worded it now, carrying our emotions in our body. And did I hear you say working them out of your body? Like and can you talk more about that?
Okay, yeah. So this is like one of my favorite things to do. It's so intense and probably not I should be so excited to do this to people, but I know it's just like a good way of healing. So it's an actual massage technique where you start usually your body is made up mostly of water, and if you go to a water ceremony, you know. And that same philosophy applies that every time your emotion, it becomes kind of a solid thing. So it should most times drop to your lower half of your body. So a lot of the massage technique is to your legs, your toes, your thighs. And then you can have all types of emotions. You can cry, you can scream, you can laugh. Like when we were doing the training, it was like a room full of like predominantly quiet girls, you know, like we're all yogis. And when you start doing this, you hear people screaming, cussing. You're like, who are these people? So like it starts to dig up things that you get used to not even remembering. The nice part of it, the physical aspect that's beneficial is your body is a lot looser. So you work from the toes straight up to around you. Some people do carry in their neck and their shoulders. Even commonly misdiagnosed as asthma, people do carry it directly in their lungs, and it's very difficult to remove it from there. That takes a lot more than just an emotional release blockage type of massage. That's like way more of a journey for you. But this technique does get you on the right move. What happens after you physically start to feel looser and more relaxed, and you can stretch deeper, which as a yogi, you want to be able to stretch into your postures as deep as possible because you're trying to open those, align your chakras, open your heart, and you want to do all that work. So you want to get as deep as you can. The other part is it starts to bring to surface in your mind things that you don't think of. So a lot of times when I meet with clients, I will tell them like go home and journal. Or like let's do an active meditation session right after. Let's do pranayama. Let's get the breathing going because things are coming right up to surface, and it's just like, how do we purge this? How do we get this out? How do you move forward? How do you heal? So I like to watch people I know never talk about their lives, talk like, fine, I'll let you do it. I have a lot of like cool guys that like say, fine, I'll just try it out, And they're like, I don't talk about my life. And then I do a session with them and they got tears coming out their eyes. I'm like, who are, they're very emotional. Like it's healthy to experience all emotions and like to have that experience and then let it go. So like, that's a good part about that massage type of therapy.
That's awesome.
I love that. Yeah. I've
I
actually Sorry, go on.
No, I said I have to come and do it for you guys one day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That
makes me nervous, but also excited.
Is there a simple like quick technique that people can do, like something like on a daily to like continue to like release blockages? I know like there's certain things like tapping and stuff like that people do. Is there anything like that you have?
I believe breathing. So I believe practicing certain breathing techniques. My favorite is really the beehive. A part of it is like we have a hard time accepting what's not perfect about ourselves. So sometimes it comes to surface and our ego's like, not right now. So it's good to bring it to surface with breathing techniques and then going to a meditation so you can have that time alone to work through that feeling and just to own it. Like, even for me, I'll be as raw and natural, open. My siblings are so talented. They're like all naturally so artsy. Who can't sing, can draw and paint and flip. I can't do any of those stuff. For so long.
Not yet.
It was like drive me crazy. I wasn't as naturally talented in that area. For me, I did a lot of yoga and I was like, hold on. It kept coming to surface like, girl, you might be a little jealous. And I'm like, no, that's impossible. Me, how can I be jealous? I'm this. I really had to do some breathing techniques. Like pranayama is like for everything. And I sat with my meditation and then I accepted that feeling. And then I expressed it to my siblings. And it just like, it was so a release, like, hey, I'm kind of jealous that like you get to be in movies and you get to sing so pretty and like you get to do that. And like expressing that and letting down your guard is like so important. So I think the starting foundation is pranayama. And the simple one is literally taking your fingers, covering your eyes on both sides. I'm holding my phone and covering your ears and making that B sound. It's so calming to the body.
Like
it relaxes you.
Like buzz, like that.
Yeah, buzz, like as much as you can. Especially too if you work in a really hostile environment. I used to do this all the time in the bathroom. I don't know who was hearing me at work, but I would leave out of my office and go into the bathroom. And I was buzzing in there.
So
and really just
so
be
you
with your
cover
thoughts.
both eyes and then also use your thumbs to cover your ears and then buzz.
Buzz.
Okay.
Buzz.
It sounds crazy, but you should try it.
Let's try. How long do you do this for? How
A good start is doing 15 buzz as long as you can hold it.
Okay.
Lavender, don't you laugh. This is amazing. So you literally just cover them as hard as you can.
Okay.
You cover your ears, like cover your ears.
Well, we have
like,
we have an earbuzz
down.
in, so we're not.
We'll
gonna
cover
be able...
one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
so we can still hear
and then you buzz. So
and are we buzzing like a or like a
beat? Like a that one. Again. Do 5.
Wow.
That was only 2 and I feel better.
Do we look crazy on the stream? My eyes were closed.
It's nice.
Someone's gonna take a snip of that and put it like make a meme out of it and be like these two crazies on the.
This is what they do on this show. Crazy things. No, but I feel actually a lot better after doing that. Like, it's
Sherry's posting bees. You should try it. You know, it's interesting because I've noticed at times in my life done one or both or maybe all of the above. I didn't even know that was a technique, and I don't know if I made the exact same sound, but I think it pretty close. Like there's been a few times where sometimes like if I'm in the shower, like I'll like plug my ears and like just feel like the water hitting my head, and like sometimes like make like a om or a or just some sort of vibration with my throat, and have found that relaxing. So it's interesting to hear
2 different showering techniques.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the shower right now. I love, as a kid, I used to love like clogging my ears and letting it go, like to hear the different sounds. And I'm like, oh, I
used
didn't
to
know
do
this was
that.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. Oh man, make all sorts of different noises
That's so
too.
funny.
Just hearing how it would sound.
I totally forgot about
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Of course, no one
I
can
think about
forget the
a lot of
fan. You know, like the choppy noise in front of the fan,
Yeah.
talking into a fan.
That's too funny.
Oh man. So what can you explain,
Yeah.
Taji, what pranayama is or means for, like you said, one of your favorite pranayamas is? Is that just a meditation technique or
Pranayama is just breathing. So
mm,
yoga has multiple steps. So unfortunately, and I was a part of this group, I did yoga for years in America, and I thought it was just like a great workout and a good stretch. And then I was like, yeah, I want to get certified. I want to like teach other people yoga. And then I decided to go to India. I don't know why I decided to go so far, but my mind said I want to go to the.
oh no.
Did we lose?
I think we lost you, Taji.
Are we still live?
Oh
though?
no. Is it us or is it Taji? If you're in the comments and you can hear us. Oh no, I think it was Taji. Let's do this.
I like this
Hopefully
split
she'll,
screen
yeah,
that we have.
let's
though.
do this.
Y'all.
So hopefully Taji will reconnect. Unless she's.
Man, we were getting to something great.
Oh man, I love learning about that. Okay, I'm getting confirmation. All right, thanks, Sherry.
Okay, so we're gonna give Taji a moment to rejoin the stream. We had some interference, and as you know, technical difficulties. That's our show. We should just change the name to technical difficulties.
the technical difficulty grill.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, you got to see some of Taji share with us about different techniques with energy blockage and how we carry emotion in our bodies. And we talked about some naturopathy and the difference between homeopathy and a bunch of really cool things. And we were just getting some amazing conversation. So I know you also do energy work as well. So feel free to chime in the comments. I'm sure Taji would love to hear what you have to say. And that goes for anyone. Comment below.
I'm gonna shoot her a text.
Check out. Make sure we can get our guests back on. I think all the buzzing we were doing,
the vibration, yeah, just
so
vibrated
powerful.
the interwebs right out of connection.
We said we were on a meditation retreat this weekend, so you know we're like vibrating really high. Our frequencies are like crazy. I'm about to start an earthquake. Do we have a Richter scale inside of the studio, Miss
I highly recommend trying that technique that we just did where we look silly, because I feel energized right now.
I do as well. Actually, it feels really nice. It feels really.
You know,
I feel cooler.
Yeah.
Also, like I don't know, my body feels cooler.
I agree with that. That's interesting. I wanted to share with Taji that I recently have been noticing sometimes, especially when I'm really stressed, that I feel my stomach, my like getting tense, and sometimes rather than just being like, oh, I'm uncomfortable or everything feels tight, I'll actually start to like feel and massage and find spots, like I don't know if it's in my organs or the ab muscles or like the diaphragm, but there's different spots that I'll push and squeeze, and I'm like, oh my god, like there's something there, and like massage it away like little by little, and it doesn't feel like a normal massage. It feels like some sort of like it feels emotional. So it was really interesting that she brought that up, because I was just experiencing that this past weekend actually, in our retreat, where I was called for whatever reason to do some of that, and
usually for me that's just gas. So
this
you
was...
pushing the right spot in. It's like,
This was like it was interesting feeling that and finding muscles that I didn't know were there. There's actually, I have another friend who was sharing with me that she follows a technique from a guy from Korea, and he has he has a technique that uses this, like, picture like a T shape thing that's plastic, and you hold the two end, like the top of the T, and then the long part you put on your belly button, and you just pull, like, I don't know, like for 5 minutes a day, and you just, it's like basically like pushing on your belly button. But he believes, and I don't know how much, you know, scientific evidence, but there's a lot of followers of this technique that say literally doing nothing else except pushing this thing on your belly button for, I don't know if it's 5 minutes a day exactly. I don't remember exactly how long, but it was just minimal work for all these benefits they were talking about. And I mean, I could see that if, from a standpoint of energy blockages, that would support with that.
Huh.
And oh wait, it says 2 participants. She's back. Let me admit her. One moment. We're gonna bring Taji back on. All right. She's connecting. Let me bring her back on the screen here. Oh. Let's do this. Yay!
Is that muted?
You're back. I think you're on mute, though.
Zoom just kicked me out.
Oh, no.
Our show does that.
Sorry, it didn't pop up like it normally does, telling me you entered the waiting room, so hopefully you weren't waiting to come back in for too long.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Don't worry. Let's get right back into it. So
okay.
Our video engineer person, you know, they dropped the ball. Jeff the cat.
I'm officially part of the real show. There's technical difficulties.
Oh, man. I was just saying, actually, that I don't know if you've heard of this guy from Korea. I had a friend who was, this is a few years ago now, she was telling me she follows this technique where it's this piece of like plastic thing that's like a picture of T, and you hold the top of the T, and you put the other end on your belly button, and you just pull into your belly button to like push on your belly button for, I don't know, like 5 minutes a day, or however many, like 100 times a day or something, where it's supposed to cause all these benefits. And I was just saying that it's interesting because that seems, you know, another parallel practice to, you know, the type of work that you do that makes sense why there would be benefits if you're releasing things.
I would love to look into that. I mean, the closest we have to that is hot breaths. So there's a couple different like type of, like, it's like almost a jumpy breath. So your stomach is snapping in and out. And then there's one where you suck your stomach all the way in like a vacuum. Which my belly right now is a quarantine belly, so I'm not going to show you how you do that. But you want to get your belly button to the back of pretty much to the back of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hold that and you breathe in that. So maybe it's a similar benefit. A lot of things come from our belly button and our navel and like that area. Like my whole life, I was just like, oh, my brain and my heart are the most important. And then the simple fact of like, whatever I put in my body is what feeds my brain and my heart. I was like, oh crap. So like my digestive system is way more important. So, you know, so maybe it has a lot to do with that. I don't know, but I would love to, I'm going to look it up. Everything new that I see has to do with like healing. I'll go and I'll go buy it. My Amazon cart is so dangerous. And then I'll sit and do it. So,
well, one other thing that I found out about, you know, or a lot of people are not familiar with either Qigong or Tai Chi. And I think a lot of people think of it as simply like moving meditations or about moving energy. But one of the things that I didn't learn till much later was that some of those movements and techniques are actually designed to massage your organs based on the position that you're in, and some of them even involve like slapping yourself like in the back like where your kidneys are to like stimulate, I guess, the vibration and the movement of stuck energy. So that always stuck with me, and I'm seeing all these connections through all these different modalities that I really it really seems that all these mostly Eastern methodologies are actually they're up onto something, and it'll probably be a while before our Western medicine figures that out. At least we have acupuncture, which is
Yeah,
from the
a
East,
good
that's
start.
accepted. Yeah, it's something. So,
The
um,
unfortunate thing is that, money won't be made if we cure everything. And that's like the simplest way I can say it for the Western world. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, there's a whole realm of that here. So, a lot of things that will benefit us or could make a change, it's not going to be promoted. So, like, us on a smaller scale or horizontally can just continuously try to get the message across and out, like, hey, like, this one changed. Like, I would never tell a human being jump into a water fast. That's like dangerous. But over a period of time of doing deep detox through fruits and vegetables and enemas, and there's a couple of different things you can do to kind of get your body geared for that. And you go on a water fast. Water fasting for 7 days, and this has been proved scientifically, once a year can reduce, I forgot how many cancers, by 92%. It's between 92 and 95%, that percentage. The thought that this can, something as simple as not consuming food for 7 days once a year can reduce my chance of cancer. It's like, oh, why have I never thought of that
I
before?
would
Why is
love
this not?
to learn more
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
can. I love reading research, so
I'll send you a nice documentary about it. They talked a lot about also why are we more cancer driven? I think I was talking to Lavanda about this the other day. We're more likely to have cancer in the Western world with the same smoking habits as the Eastern world, if not less of a smoking habit. It's more common for people to smoke in China and Korea and those areas, but they're not getting cancer as much, and they direct it to the diet. There's
that's
pathogens in
interesting.
meat that hold on to something that's released during smoking that helps reduce cancer in the body. So since their diet is predominantly vegetables and grains and not as much meat as us, they're getting cancer less. So I'm like, what? Everything goes back to what we're consuming, what we're putting into our bodies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's really
Which is,
fascinating.
there's some foods that we love to eat. Like, I'll be honest, there's times I don't eat meat for months on end, but I love a good steak. I'll say it straight out, But I know there's times I have to skip eating certain things for my long-term benefits and for my health. So
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I know you love to cook some good food too, and maybe we
Yeah.
talk about that too.
I was gonna say it
yeah.
definitely, creating that balance that you don't have to necessarily eliminate and sacrifice everything out of your diet. Obviously, the cleaner, the more organic and natural, the better.
Mhm.
But creating that balance of what you're intaking, like you said, being really cognizant of what you're putting into your body. So
And listening to your body too, because like, I might eat something that I like. It's not even really bad for me, but I notice when I eat this, my digestion's a little off, or I feel really tired after I eat it. Not every vegetable is for everyone, and there's a lot of controversy over some vegetables that are promoted for us to eat. They're not really great for us.
Hmm.
And I tell you, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole book. I'm like, ooh, I didn't, I felt like once I was eating vegetables, I was in the clear. And then there's like, no, not everything is good in certain consumptions. Not everything is good raw. There's some things that you need to steam a little bit so it's easier for your body to break down.
Hmm.
Some things you should eat smushy, because unless you are committed to making those 100 and something bites, chewing, which I'm never. I be talking while I'm eating. So I'm like 3 bites, 3 chews, and it's like going hard down my throat.
Yeah, I'm that's not one of my strengths is eating slowly. Oh man.
I eat like I'm in prison. Like I really like cock over the food and was like, let me get it in.
I eat food like someone's about to steal it from me. Yeah.
So I want to put you and Corey in a race.
You know, fun fact is I've never lost an eating contest. I've entered a handful of them. Most both for quantity, but also mostly for speed. And
like what kind of food?
What have I done? I've done ice cream, I did a few different ice cream eating contests, dumplings, hot dogs. You know, I've gone at least at one, maybe a few restaurants done like their challenge. You know, like I went to a restaurant. They're like, if you can eat this burger, we'll put your picture on the wall. And it was gone in like...
Corey's in a lot of burger shops, is what he's saying.
It was gone in like 5 minutes, and I was ordering more food. It was like...
No. You would most likely crush me on that, but I love food and I love eating. But I'd give myself the quest to find good substitutes. And like, I know like now there's a big you know, push in the vegan world, and there's a big push in being vegetarian, and a lot of companies are monopolizing this, and they're making products to fit into this, but they're not so healthy. So like I would suggest, like, I love cooking, but if you're gonna buy
vegan,
they are.
Yeah.
Oreos are vegan, but for all the wrong reasons.
Right? So yeah, I hear that a lot. Hey, it's vegan. You know, it's good for you. I'm like, I don't think it works that way.
No, sugar's vegan.
Yeah.
Pasta is vegan. I'm like, yeah, you eat that too much, it's still not great. It's to try to stay within the 5 ingredients rule. That's a good start. Sticking to the 5 ingredients. Like if it goes past 5, 6 ingredients, if you can't pronounce some of the things, you should probably skip it. Like this isn't a good idea for you. And I think that's a good place for people to start. You know, I'm not telling people like, hey, flip it a hat, throw away everything you have in your house, buy all organic vegetables, and that's it. It's not realistic. You want long-term change, so that's a better place to start.
Agreed. I think that I love that you take that approach as someone who's like a yogi and into detoxes, and I know a lot of people who are in that world, and a lot of the people in that realm are very much like either extreme or judgmental of like, oh no, you like, I can't believe you're eating that thing, like what are you doing, like, and they kind of shame people for not being perfect when it comes to that journey. And I love that you talk about balance and create reasonable expectations as far as like okay, every now and then, you know, if you want to have your bag of Doritos, like, you know, that's, you know, as long as you're taking steps, like you're gonna still be okay. Or like, you know, it's not like you're a failure and like you should throw away all the other successes that you've had.
I would say, speaking of long-term change, you know, we touched on a little bit earlier about your detox program, and I was an active participant in this program, and I wanted to give you a moment to share, you know, what this detox program is. I know this is something you've learned in India as well, and what are the benefits of it, and, you know, how can people, you know, get involved?
Yeah. So we did this detox that we did. This one was very subtle version to get our bodies used to the ideal detoxing, and it really goes with what you're saying, Corey. I just I try to be realistic and I try to remember what I feel and how I feel about food because I feel like food should be something happy. Like I cook for my family. I'm so excited to feed people. I don't want to cook and people be sad. You know, you don't want to be sad during a meal. So, I try to find good loopholes and good ways to introduce detoxing through certain types of meals. So with what we did was a 4-week detox, and the perfect world I would do like at least a 3 months to 4 months detox with someone. But we slowly took things out. And Lavanda, I want you to tell me how you felt like after week 1. Some people like freak out about coffee. I'm like, oh, you got to take out coffee. And they're like, wait, what? I need coffee to like function. I'm like, no, you don't. You need sleep to function, good sleep to function. So how did you feel after week 1 at least?
After week 1 was easy for me. That was
Okay.
that was pretty easy for me. I felt great. You know, I would say
You don't really drink coffee anyways, right?
I don't drink coffee, but week 1, you know, I usually when I'm switching from meat to a plant-based diet, I always have like that moment of like kind of like grogginess, and like usually I get like a migraine. So, but usually like after day like 3, you know, that happens and I'm over that hump and it's like, okay, now I can do great. So,
You can do it.
yeah, it was the beginning of feeling more energetic, more clear, um, satiated after meals, not, you know, always going back for second, thirds, and, you know, how many plates I ever feel like usually. But yeah, week 1 was great. It was a good feel.
Yeah, so a good thing with week 1, which we started to eliminate things like alcohol, coffee, red meats, um, processed sugars, processed food, fried foods, is to not, we want to stop feeding our parasites. So growing up, especially coming from a West Indian family, this is probably gross. You get deworm medicine before you go back to school. And you know, you pass the worms. I don't know, like I don't want to make anyone like sick, but like when you're into this type of stuff, we talk about poop all the time. So you like poop out all these like, parasites and worms and stuff. So it's very normal growing up to take deworm medicine and to like take enemas. Like that was normal for us. I didn't notice how like it wasn't normal. And I probably had this conversation one time with people who were like, no, that's not a everyday thing. So the first week is really to stop feeding our parasites. And that's where those headaches come from, where the grogginess, with even the moodiness, it's not even you. It's the parasite saying, like, hey, this is my feeding schedule. And then what are you doing? So it's really good to slowly start to remove them. And then people think and that parasites only live in your intestines. No, they're all over your body, unfortunately. And just, you know, like any other type of species out there, when they have a parasite, it doesn't just live, they can be in their brain, it can be in their eye, it can be anywhere. So that's why when you do a really deep detox, those 3 and 4 months or 1 year detox is really to try to clean the whole vessel. You want to get rid of everything that does not belong in you. And then week two wasn't so bad either. We weren't so, wasn't that bad, right?
Week 2, we removed, what was it that we removed on week 2?
Fish, shellfish, fish, chicken.
Okay.
Pungent things, anything vinegared.
Okay.
I hope you remove them.
That yes, I did. That wasn't as bad for me either. I was good until as long as I can do cooked vegetables.
Okay.
I was good.
Yeah.
So that wasn't as bad. But again, I by that my energy level was, you know, I would say like on a physical activity level, probably not as like high energy for physical activity, but as far as mental clarity and energy throughout my day, I love my naps. I love the sleep, and I probably did not nap at all when I was at that point because I had energy to like, just
Going.
just keep going through my day.
Yeah, I get kind of high strung. I say like when I'm on a detox, like I'll go to bed at 12 and be up by 4:30. Like, what I want to do today, and it's like so weird, but so correct. Like, oh, my body can live off of 7 hours of sleep, and then I can function a whole day. Like that's normal.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of get used to. I was actually this. I love her. She is her name is Ginger, and I want to remember her Instagram. She also does these like great, amazing detox programs. And I feel like to be true to myself and to be true to what I consider to be my craft is to like learn from everyone that I can. And she talks about the normal, what we consider normal is not technically normal. Just because like so much people are doing it doesn't mean this is a normal behavior. It's just, become normal over time, So I was like, oh, that's true, taking a nap or being extremely tired right after eating something, that's probably not a great thing. So what am I eating? And what am I doing with my body? A lot of cultures, a lot of preserved cultures believe you can take on the energy of the foods that you eat. So if you're eating a chicken, and a lot of us, especially here, we don't have farms. We don't have room for farms. Half of us live in apartment buildings. We don't have space you know, have our own chickens and cows. We don't know how they lived. We don't know how they died. We don't know, and they say that you take on that energy. When we go to the supermarket, little Sally chicken, she could have been crying on her way out. And I'm eating her now, and I'm
Not
feeling
little
all
Sally
sad.
chicken, no.
I'm like, why do I feel like this? Can't explain this emotion, and it's something as simple as eating little Sally chicken, little leg. I don't know. So it becomes interesting to not only just people like, oh, stop eating meat, stop eating. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but you can consume some of these seeds in small quantities and then try to get familiar with a local butcher. Try to. I'm not sure how it is, especially in Florida, but like Westchester, we have tons of farms. You can get local meat. You can get milk delivered to your house still. There's a lot of we have farmers markets everywhere. So it's like getting up and utilizing that and making relationships with people who are actually doing these type of farming is like a good step in making those changes for yourself.
That's a really interesting take that I hadn't considered. Like I mean, it's I know there with so many vegan people saying don't eat animals at all. It's interesting to hear someone talk about finding the middle ground and more about that balance. And so I have thought about it too, though, what you're saying as far like sometimes when I'm eating meat, which over the last few years I noticed I find myself eating less and less. Sometime in the last 10 years I became allergic to pork, and then at this point I've cut it out completely because I'm like it got worse and worse as far as the allergy, where I'm just like so tired afterwards and groggy, feel hungover. It's like a whole thing. But and then I have been eating less and less red meat, and now I'm finding I'm eating like less and less chicken, and just more like I look for vegan options or vegetarian options that are tasty instead of just like whatever like boring salad that has like nothing in it. I try to find like at least good things, and if there's a healthy option that is really tasty, I'll usually pick that. But I love the thought of looking, and I know in Florida we have, I think we're the largest or maybe the second largest behind Texas in terms of cattle. So I imagine that I don't know how much of it is just like factory
Roughly.
farming or if it's like local farmers. But
I didn't know that.
we saw a cow in the road just yesterday. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we did. We're just driving down the road and like this guy's just having his meal, his breakfast outside the fence. It's like, dude, you are not supposed to be on this side.
Hi, Pablo.
Hi, Pobs.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up predominantly vegetarian. For a good part of my life, I ate no meat. I'm not sure if you know dal, which is squished down lentils. I ate that very often. I could, as a kid, and like we joke about now, because I can barely like lift my body out of my bed some days because I'm getting old. But we used to scale. We had 2 buildings. We used to scale up to the second floor, holding our bodies, like pushed our hands against the wall, up to the wall, like it was like a normal Saturday morning as a kid. And I see the kids, we run a daycare. A lot of my kids can barely do push-ups. And I'm like, yeah, that was like a normal day for me. We're out, we're running, we're doing things. And I look back, my mom, we never had meat. We rarely had anything canned. And that's a big thing. I'm like, listen, 100%. If you could get your body to be a vegan, be a vegan. If your blood type and your body agrees with you being a vegan, I 100% support that. Or vegetarian. But if you're going to eat tons of canned goods, if you're going to live off Oreos and pasta and bagels and made up cheeses and made up meats, like, no, just eat rice and chicken then, because like you're defeating the purpose of being a vegan.
Yeah.
And I think, and not in a judgy way, I eat things that are still processed, but if you're gonna move into that space for health, then eating those things will not benefit you. Those are not healthy options. And my sister is predominantly vegan. She's, like I told you earlier, she's pregnant now, so she's eating fish here and there because her doctor suggested, like, hey, you need a little more vitamin this and vitamin that and omega-3. So she's eating fish sometimes. But we like have so much fun. Mushrooms, I love mushrooms. I don't know how other people feel about mushrooms, but I have figured out a mushroom that can substitute almost every meat that I eat. And I don't try to overdo it, but like if I really am like, hey, I'm having a hard week and I'm trying to do a detox, or I'm having a hard week removing some meats, I just throw mushrooms in there. I'll grill mushrooms. I make mushroom tacos. Even oyster mushrooms.
Some of those recipes.
Oh, I'm gonna just send you some. Fried oyster mushrooms, as much as I tell you to not fry anything, but if you feel like you need something fried and you're not eating meat, you deep fry oyster mushrooms. They taste better than chicken nuggets. And I've given this to meat eaters who are like, wait, what is this? I'm like, just eat it. It's good, it's good for you.
I need to try that. I've been seeing more and more
delicious
of these different like mushroom blends popping up in the supermarkets. And I know there's a standard like baby, what are the normal mushrooms? I forget
Baby Bell,
Baby Bella. And then there's the portobello mushrooms, which are like, for the longest time it was like the only 2 things I ever saw in the store.
Yeah.
And then now we're getting more like shiitake and occasionally the oyster mushrooms, and I think there's a few others I've started to see here and there, but maitake maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's but I definitely, I don't even know what all of these mushrooms taste like. I think I've only tried, I don't know how many I've had, take some in supplements, but like I don't know if I've actually eaten a lot of these other mushroom types.
That's where I'm at. Like I get to experience and like try like more like mushrooms, like you, like we've had them in like different like vitamins and supplements and things like that, but never actually as a food item, like as part of a meal to like really experience the difference.
I had to say some recipes.
Yes, please.
Because the thing too, like I love seasonings, and a lot of people feel like, oh, if I'm eating vegetables, there's no flavor. I'm like, no. When you buy a piece of meat or chicken or whatever, and you season it, you're seasoning it a lot with vegetables. That's what is in those little packages and stuff. That's like, it's just more vegetables. So like, I tell people like, get a good, put onion, garlic, peppers, and blend it down. You put that on some mushrooms and you go in the pan. You guys would let me live for free at your house if you let me. You would not give me no worries. I'm telling you. Vegan food, vegetarian food can be fun, but you want to stick to whole plants, eating the actual vegetable, not eating. And I have my times. Like I'll buy one of those like Daya pizzas, and I know it's like not real, like coconut cheese. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll have it one day, but to live on that is not healthy. To have those things consistently, have those things daily, not healthy. I might get flagged for this and it's fine, but like soy tofu, it's not for men. And I tell men all the time, don't eat that because you want your reproductive stuff to be working high and mighty. That's not for you. Soy is not for men. So I'll see men eat heavy contents of tofu as a replacement. I'm like, skip that one. Let's skip that one. It'll give you something that's more fitting.
Yeah.
So it's also looking into your body, your blood type, your gender, all those things to determine some foods that are beneficial and not beneficial to you. There's mushrooms that are not good for you or not as good for you. It depends how deep of a clean, how deep of a detox, if you're healing from something. So like, that's another thing. If you're trying to heal from some type of ailment or virus, that plays in a little different to the direction you would go on a detox. If you're just doing your yearly cleaning, then yeah, you can kind of mix and mingle, but you want to kind of hone into like, hey, what am I really working on? What am I removing? What's the issues? Even for me, like if I get an upper respiratory, I was sick probably 2 weeks into our detox. All the kids in the daycare got this nasty cold and they just said, here, Taji, hold on to this. And I had every citrus that you can possibly think of. We grind into a little juice. And this is so unconventional. We put a little bit of rum in there, and it's white Jamaican rum, which is disgusting. And you drink that. You rub your whole body with Tiger Balm. You wrap yourself up in blankets. 2 days, you're better. You sweat like a pig. You change your clothes a million times. 2 days, I'm back up. I have kids who are still sick with the same cold. And I'm like, you have to find those remedies. And then too, I'll remove certain foods. I won't eat anything, milk, no cheese, bananas. Bananas are not good when you're sick. They're mucousy fruit. There's just like things that, and it's important to do your research and see, hey, like celery is great for you. Celery is an herb. It's good for you to drink. Grapefruit, it's good for you, overall. You'll be fine if you all consume this. So you kind of want to figure out what you're working on and then take the time, like look up, is this good, is this bad, is this fitting? And it can be tedious at first, but once you make that first laundry list, then it's easy to find recipes. The internet has made vegetarian and veganism a little more accessible and a little less confusing or like overwhelming or even boring. Like when I was a kid, I had tons of beans. We eat lots of beans. So there's that space you can be in.
I think now there's so much, diversity in fruits and vegetables, like I said, with the internet. Because I know usually people their first go to is like, when they're making that shift and that change is like, okay, I'm stuck. Like I don't know how to cook, and myself included. I love to cook. I can just throw anything in the refrigerator together and make a meal. But if I make the decision to say, hey, I'm gonna eat plant-based, it's like all of a sudden I don't know how to cook anymore, and it's like I can cook still the same, just take the meat out. But there's like like a mental blockage of just like I don't know what to do anymore because now I changed my eating habits, my diet.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So you have to figure out, are you having that block because you really don't want to change what you're eating? Because I'm telling you, there's days that there's days for me, I'm in on a fast or I'm in on a detox, and my fridge is packed. Every single fridge in all the homes are always packed with vegetables and fruits because most of my family members are usually on the same movement, and that also makes it easier for me. I know it's hard sometimes when everyone else is still eating meat and rice and you're like trying to eat cauliflower and string beans. Like, yeah, it's harder, but I'll open my refrigerator packed full of fruits and vegetables. I'm like, there's nothing in here, there's nothing. I'll open it 6-7 times. I'm like, I don't want any of this stuff. So I get it.
I know that feeling. Yeah,
I felt like that when I was on the raw fruits and vegetable day.
Nothing feels satisfying at that point. You're just like, what is this?
Did you tell her about your
I did not tell her about
guac?
I made brock and guac. That was my raw fruits and vegetables. It's like I brought broccoli and I was like, I got nothing to dip it with, so I might as well just make a guacamole. So,
but that's good. I love guacamole. That is like, I sometimes will have like a baked chip before I get deep into a cleanse. I'll do a lot of baked chips and guacamole, and then I'll just eat guac on a stick. I'll eat peanut butter on a stick. It's like, okay. But there's a lot of creative meals you can do. I also tell people, hey, you're gonna go into a cleanse, buy the Ziploc bags. Spend the afternoon, cut up tons of fruits and vegetables, pre-bag them for smoothies, pre-bag them for when you want to cook some stuff. I really got into this with my ex-boyfriend. Didn't know how to cook, and I felt dangerous leaving him home for a whole week without like pre-prep meals. And I would start prepping vegetables. Like I would cut up onions and like bag them and like leave them in the freezer. So like, or put them in the fridge. So I started doing that at home. And I noticed that when I was doing detox, it's easier when you don't have to be thinking completely from scratch, on top already feeling like you're giving up food. So like a lot of times I would know in the morning, like, hey, I'm going to have this type of salad this evening. And my brain's already set to like put that together. And if you're in a family, I know you guys are there's no kids to cook for, but if you're in a family situation where no one wants to do this with you, I cheat and I eat before, so I have to cook for the daycare kids. They would kill me if I gave them the stuff that I'm eating. So a lot of time I would eat, like pack my stomach at 2 p.m. because I know at 3 I have to feed them. And I'm sorry, chicken nuggets, they still smell good to me. They'll probably always smell good to me. So I got to make sure I'm full by the time I have to cater to someone else's meal. So you got to find a little loopholes for yourself.
That's good strategy.
But, yeah, I like that.
Amber just oh, sorry, finish what you were saying before I read this comment. Oh, she just said, I always find my mind overthinks when I'm changing my eating habits, LOL. I always say I have to shop more to eat less, then stop and realize I was just in my head. KIS says, keep it simple, LOL.
Yes, yeah. I totally agree with
Keep it simple and watch tons of YouTube. When I feel overwhelmed, I will watch so many vegan YouTube, and it like makes me feel good about whatever I'm gonna eat, and try to get excited about something. Amber, like find, like, you know, if you know in 2 weeks you plan to do your detox, spend a week of like, hey, that recipe sounds good. Like that mushroom burger sounds good on a lettuce bun. Like jot it down. I really do take time to write down a lot of these things I want to try. And I spend time trying these new foods and saying, okay, yeah, no, this one's a hit or miss. This is a hit or miss. and it kind of makes it a game and takes a lot more pressure off the idea of taking away foods versus like just trying a new recipe. So that's
I like that. Because I love trying new things anyway. So if I just have enough things queued up, then, you know, I could just go on and on forever eating all these healthy things because I'm just trying something new each time.
Yeah.
So
I like that. We gotta try some of those things.
Yeah. So hopefully when you come back to Florida and we'll have you on the show again, and maybe next time we'll do some cooking together in the kitchen.
Have you here in
Yes.
person.
So
I'm trying to make Florida once a month thing.
Woo.
I will be visiting you guys next weekend. I'm actually coming back next weekend.
Yay.
I like it.
So that sounds good.
So
it was such a
maybe
pleasure.
next Monday if you are here past the weekend next weekend. I don't know when you.
Oh yeah, I'll be here probably until like I'll be in Florida until like Tuesday. So we can definitely do that. We can do a nice little meal.
Oh,
We
Friday.
can do a pre.
We have game night too.
Yeah, there's always the option for game night on Friday as well.
Okay.
So
I can cook in the background.
Yeah, we could even do a cooking on we could mix up game night and make it we could maybe turn it into some sort of game. I don't know. But usually we would play a game on Friday, so we're gonna say maybe we'd cook instead. You know, mix it up.
Oh.
So we're
we can
open.
play a game and cook.
Yeah, there we go.
Do both.
Well, I'm so happy. I know I was like rambling on. I get so excited talking about this stuff, and I'm so thankful that you guys had me on today. And
well, thank you for
and
yes, thank you for joining us, Taji, and for sharing all of your knowledge and wisdom that you've collected over your whole life of being in this world of healthy eating, and also now studying and continuing to grow in this, and building your detox business, and really excited for everything that you're up to and for sharing this information with others. I think it's important for people to be aware and to realize that it's not all or nothing. It's not you either are the worst eater or you're like a super vegan and there's nothing in between. So I appreciate you being that example and showing us, you can still eat a good steak sometimes, and then like you can detox also. That it doesn't have to be I've committed myself forever and now I can't ever eat any meat ever again, or
exactly.
So a fun snack, a chicken nugget once in a while.
You still want to be happy. Stress will kill you quicker than eating a piece of meat. So you want to find a good balance. You want to take care of your body, but you don't want to look at food as a punishment. And that's like a big thing you want to people should move away from. Like, yeah, eating healthy is great and learning to love those foods are great. But doing it gradually and finding a good place for yourself in that mix.
Amen.
Without stressing your body or stressing your mind,
Yeah, I appreciate that and appreciate you. And we're going to wrap up this stream, but feel free to, we'll keep in touch for sure, and let us know what your schedule is. We can connect after.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lavander will reach out and figure out.
Love me.
And if you're interested in getting more information about detoxing or...
Oh, no, I think she lost us. Oh.
Well, I'm just going to continue on. And if you're interested in getting more information about detoxing and, maybe some good food recipes, let us know and we can connect you to Taji. She's absolutely amazing. Her detox program, I enjoyed. It was a bit of a challenge towards the end, but it was so worth it, and I felt so great doing it. And I would absolutely take another opportunity to do this again. And I lost 11 pounds, I think is what it was by the end. So I lost some weight, which is awesome. Healthy weight. Like, it was healthy losing weight in that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to you. I'm glad you took that on and gained your energy, lost some weight, meeting goals. Hashtag goals.
Goals.
And Amber says, thank you. And thank you, Amber, for tuning in and for commenting. We always love your thoughts on everything on the show. And thank you to everyone else in the comments: Pablo, Sherry, Breezy238.
Yeah.
And I think there was at least
there
was Terry.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry. And if you saw the stream and you learned something, let us know, or what your favorite part was, and or if you want to try any of the tips or suggestions from Taji, let us know how it's going or what you're interested in. And if you want to hear us talk more about any of these topics, let us know that too.
Yes. Make sure you join us again for office hours next week at 7 p.m. every Monday. And Friday, we have game night. We'll be back on with game night, right?
Yeah.
This Friday? We'll be back on with game night, 8 o'clock. So, yeah, make sure you tune in to game night, as well as, or something else I was going to say, but I don't remember.
Thank you, Amber. She says, love you guys. You really make my Monday night.
Yay, we love you, Amber. Thank you, thank you. If you all enjoy this stream, make sure you share it out to your family and friends so they can enjoy this as well. Make sure you also go to CoordinatorsGrill.com and you can follow any one of our channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and you can always catch our stream there. And you can support the Patreon as well, where we get to, patrons like you support us to grow and develop our channel so that we can keep providing great content and keep bringing awesome guests back onto the show like Taji.
And to buy new technology that doesn't fail when we try to go live.
So we can minimize that 85% of our show being technical difficulties.
Oh man,
we just want to get maybe a good 35.
Maybe, yeah. I was gonna say 50, but 35 would be great.
35 would be awesome. That's the goal.
Well, I think that is everything. I want to say thank you for being here. And I'm Corey.
And I'm Lavander.
And we are Corvander's Grill. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh.